We have an update to another story we brought you last week out of Minnesota. The Department of Homeland Security is pushing back on claims made by two women who say that while they were detained by ICE, they helped a federal agent who was having a medical emergency. It happened on January 22nd in the city of Brooklyn Park, just outside of Minneapolis. Dashcam video shows the moment federal authorities descended on a car, taking Tippy Amundsen and Heather Zeman into custody. The video does not capture what led up to their arrest. A DHS spokesperson says the women had been obstructing operations by Border Patrol and that they, quote, disobeyed law enforcement commands and ignored warnings, resulting in their arrest. The women maintain they were not breaking the law. Now, what happened next is what's getting so much attention. Amundsen and Zeman joined us last week here on Morning News Now. They told us they were handcuffed in the back of an SUV en route to a federal detention center with 3 federal agents in the vehicle. Then one agent started to have what they believed to be a seizure.
I saw him start to lean back, and then he said out loud, well, not really loud, very softly, that he was not feeling very well. And then his arms started to shake.
So I quickly asked them to pull over, uncuff me, and let me help him, because we could hear his tongue and the fluids in his mouth begin to sound like they were going to be aspirated into his body, and I was worried that he was going to stop breathing. I knew from minimal training that I have on being on the emergency response team when I was a kindergarten teacher, that I needed to get him into the recovery position, keep him warm and keep him calm. So they did that. They pulled over, they uncuffed me, let me run around the vehicle. They began to uncuff Heather, and then I got to his side and I told him that he was going to be okay. I had to move his service weapon from his hip to the front of his body to be able to get him into the recovery position. And then I just held his head up so that he could have a clear airway. I spoke to him and I asked him his name. I told him that he was going to be safe and that I was going to stay there until EMS arrived.
Late last week, 3 days after NBC News reached out, the Department of Homeland Security responded with a statement offering a different account of what happened. A DHS spokesperson said, quote, while driving back for processing, one of the agents in the vehicle began to feel unwell and experienced a medical emergency. These 2 women lied to law enforcement, stating they were nurses when they were not, and they remained secured in the vehicle. Agents immediately pulled over to render assistance and called 911 for medical support. The fire department and EMS arrived on scene within minutes, and the agent was treated. In response to that statement, Amundsen and Zeman say they never stated they were nurses. As for the claim they remained secured in the vehicle, they point to this video of the medical emergency. It was taken from a camera outside of a police precinct building. They obtained the video through an open records request, and it was verified by NBC News. It's tough to see clearly who's who in the video, but an attorney for the women says it shows Amundsen standing outside of the SUV on the passenger side, then shows her uncuffed, hands-free, being escorted to another vehicle. I spoke with that attorney, Ed Shaw, who calls the DHS statement disgusting. He says the women went out of their way to help the agent, maybe even saved his life, and says they're still getting trashed by their own government. The women say they were handcuffed again, then taken to a federal detention center and given citations. Their attorney says they're still waiting to see if they'll face charges for obstructing federal officers. We did ask DHS for an update on the agent's condition. The agency did not provide.